Hello, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi. Hello, Miss.
Hey, how's your day? Is that good?
Yes.
Okay. So welcome to our lecture talk for this morning. And then for this time, we will talk about our anything in lecture talk. And this kind of webinar is held by language unit by EAN Madura. So welcome to this time, guys. And here we will have three presenters to present their material related with lecture talk. It can be about what we say like culture, education, or anything like that's one. And here for this three presenters are from JANNAH Madura. They are student of JANNAH Madura, like RAODATUL JANNAH FIRDAUSI, and then TILAWATIL QUR'AN, and also RAODATUL JANNAH. And for this time too, we will have our what we say like guest from India, and his name is assistant professor of Muhammad ZUBAIR. Like that's right. After this, he will come to this link too. And then for this time, I will call Miss Nur Tilawatil Quran for present her material. And time is yours, Miss Ila.
Okay, give me a chance for first moderator, first presenter. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let's introduce myself. I am Nur Tilawatil Quran, student of EIN Madura at the Faculty Economic and Islamic Business. In this good time, I will deliver you insights on my topic. It is some tradition in fasting Ramadan month. Well, good audience. Anyone, if you know Maduras in one of that is somehow enough population. Madura now has like them. Halo. So, it is surprising if we say that so many traditions still exist until now today. It said that Madura's belief is Islam. They believe the God, Allah, and Muhammad as prophet. They also doing 5 pillars of Islam. One of them is fasting in month of Ramadan. Okay, I will explain my PPT. Ramadan is fasting a worship in Islam. It is an obligation for every Muslim. Fasting is widely known the Quran and the Hadith. In Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 183. Ya ayyuhalladzina kutiba alaikumus syiyam kama kutiba alal ladzina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Which means, who believe fasting is obligatory upon you, it was made obligatory upon before you, so that might use. Well, in Hadith, Bunaya Islamu ala khamsin sahadatu alla ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadar Rasulullah wa iqamis sholati wa ita'uz zakati wa hajjul baiti wa shaum Ramadan. meaning Islam is built on five things. Read the statement as there is no God beside Allah, and Muhammad is messenger Allah, express prayer, pay zakat, fulfill pilgrimage, and fasting of Ramadan. Ramadan is a month full of blessing and there are so many rewards in it. Therefore, Muslims are always enthusiastic about welcoming the month of Ramadan, especially for Madura's people. Today, I will focus on my village tradition that in Rompu village, Palengaan, Pamekasan, Madures. There are several activities done by Madures people on of Ramadan, namely the first, pegangan, the second, arbe or terakhir, the third, grief pilgrimage, the fourth, hataman Quran of Tadarus, the fifth, sarapian, the sixth, Quran evening or malam Quran, the seventh or the last, takbiran apurung. Okay, in this explanation, I will give you the picture about pegangan tradition. Is an activity of Palengaan people which is carried out in order to be ready and accept the coming of the month Ramadan with all their heart and soul. Usually, this activity is carried out in the evening before Maghrib, the mosque and prayer room by reading prayers. The aim of the Pegangan event is because we want to get the blessing of the month of Ramadan. And then the second is araba or terakhir. Said in my expression, this is there is the picture of araba and terakhir. This tradition indicated by the activity of delivering food relative or close neighbor. The Arba tradition is a tradition of the Madura's people in welcoming the fasting month. It happened at the last Sha'ban and the beginning of Ramadan month. The delivery person and receipt will apologize to each other after receiving the food offering. This tradition is carried out by element of society. Not surprisingly, this tradition seems like exchanging food between one to other. And third, grief pilgrimage is an activity to visit the grave of families who have passed away. This activity is carried out pray to the great-grandfather to accept their good deeds and have their sins forgiven. And this is beside the main explanation, there is the picture like what grief pilgrimage or nyalase by Madura's call in here. The fourth, Hataman Quran or Tadarus is the activity of reading the Quran with the Hataman system, which is carried out after Tarawih prayer. The priority of Tadarus Al-Quran in the month of Ramadan is giving Shafa'at one day of judgment. And the fifth, Sarapian. Sarapian is held on the night of the 21st of Ramadan. The purpose of Sarapian tradition is to open the door of heaven. This culture is carried out on the mosque after Maghrib after reading prayer and salawat. Sarapian is often given a typical snack from Rompu Palengaan Pamekasan family. Serebe made from purchased flour, coconut, and water. The statement, after reading prayer and reading salat, often brings snack profit by the people at the mosque. The Sikh, like Quran evening. The Madura tradition, Selamatan Malam Lekoran, has found the journey has been exact in the month of Ramadan at this time. The month of Ramadan is very full privilege compared to other months. There are two special things month of Ramadan that different from other months. With else to think also delivery the month of Ramadan, these two things are Nuzulul Quran and night of Lailatul Qadar. And the last are the 7 Takbiran Akhiran. Takbiran is activity of reading takbir at the end of the month Ramadan in welcoming Eid Fitri. Usually carried on the night after Tarawih. This activity is carried on simultaneously and truthfully. The purpose of reading takbir is to greet the greatness of Allah. At the same time, this is expression of the awareness that greatness belongs only to Allah. This expression brings awareness to our nature as human beings. No matter how good we are, no matter how high our degree, no matter how strong our power, no matter how much will we have, our nature as human being is the servant. Okay, I think enough for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for Miss Ila, TILAWATIL Quran, and presenting about your material under the title Madura's Culture Facing Ramadan. Okay, so for this one, we can conclude that Ramadan is a worship in Islam, and this one is our obligation as a Muslim. Okay, thank you for the presenter. And then now let me give you some kind of time for the other, we say like participants to ask Miss Ila everything that you are confused on that. Time is yours, participants. Okay, everyone, this one is Q&A. Stop. So you can ask Miss Ila for everything that you want to ask to her related with the title that have already presented by Miss Ila. Nadia Apriza Azizi. Okay, Nadia Apriza Azizi. Time is yours, Miss Nadia.
Okay, I want to ask Mrs. Ila.
Yes.
Question. Yeah. All right. Before I ask, I'll introduce myself first. My name is Nadia Prizazizi. The question from the pen slide explanation, it mentioned there's two things, namely the Nuzulul Quran and the night of Lailatul Qadar. Please explain what is Nuzulul Quran and Lailatul Qadar.
Okay, thank you, Miss Nadia. So, Miss Nadia, actually, Miss Ila, in your presentation, you said about Nuzulul Quran and also Lailatul Qadar. So, she asked you to, what we say, like, explain it in detail about those two things. Time is yours, Miss Ila.
Okay, one moment. Okay, I will answer the Mrs. Dea's question. The Nuzulul Quran and Lailatul Qadar. Nuzul Quran is the day when the Quran was released for the first time by Allah from their izzah to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The first release in Nuzul Quran are Surat Al-Alaq verse 1 to verse 5. Meanwhile, Nuzulul Quran takes place on the 17th of the month of Ramadan. And beside Nuzulul Quran is Laylatul Qadr. The night of Laylatul Qadr is a night where one night is better than 1,000 months. On that night, Allah sent down his angel to the natural world to bring mercy to his creator who obediently worship until dawn. It was also on night that Allah sent down the Quran from Lawful Mahfud to Dar Izzah its entirety. The night of Laylatul Qadr occurs in the last day of 10-day month of Ramadan. For the people Maduras, this night to consider very noble nights. So the tradition of Selamatan, the Indonesian Malam Lekoran, one night is very secret, expressly in welcoming the night of Laylatul Qadr, or what Maduras call Lekoran night. Okay, this is there. Can you get the point? My answer.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ila. Yeah, as Miss Ila asked you, Miss Nadia, did you get the point of her answer?
Yes, the answer from the source is very clear. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, Miss Nadia and also Miss Ila. And then for the other participants, do you have any kind of question for Miss Ila? Okay, everyone. And one of you want to ask her a question?
I am.
Who's that? Can you mention your name, mister? Yeah, I am. Who say that I am?
I am.
So, Soraji. So, Mr. Soraji, time is yours. Sonhaji. Okay, mister. Did you hear me? Agus Sonhaji, right? Okay, Mr. Muhammad Agus Sonhaji. You say that I am. You wanna ask her a question?
Gak jadi. Tanya apa lah? Gak jadi deh yo. Santai dulu.
Okay, thank you everyone for your time. And then I give once more again for a question and answer session. Brothers, is there any question?
Yes. Yes. Ben, mana Salma?
Okay, welcome to our keynote speaker for this time. Assistant Professor Muhammad Zubair.
Hello.
Okay, welcome to our keynote speaker, Mr. Muhammad Zubair from India, right? Assistant Professor Muhammad Zubair. Welcome, Mr. to this link and also our meeting.
Assalamualaikum and happy Ramzan. Ramzan Kareem.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, Mister. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, I'm doing great.
Okay, great. Okay, Mister. This one is our meeting. It is called by lecture talk from YAN Madura that held by language unit. And this one is our speakers, presenters, I mean. There are three presenters here that will talk about culture in our city, like this one. And then here I give you time first for saying something for us. Time is yours, Mister.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to all the organizers of this event, and I'm very thankful because in this holy month, the topic is very important.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, sorry. You are unmute your microphone. I'm so sorry.
Now
Yeah.
it's audible.
Yes.
So as I told you, firstly I would like to express my gratitude to all the organizers of this event, because in this holy month of Ramadan, the theme is who is
I'm so sorry, sir. There's one of what is that? Like one of participant of this meeting. I'm so sorry for that.
please mute him. I think.
Yes.
So as we all know, the first as we all know, Ramadan is the 9th month of Islamic calendar, during which all Muslims observe a month-long period of fasting and spiritual reflection and charitable giving. So it is considered one of the holiest month in Islam, and it is commemorated by Muslims around the world. And Muslims fast during Ramadan from dawn until sunset, abstaining from food, drink, and other physical needs. So fasting during Ramadan is considered one of the 5 pillars of Islam, along with declaration of faith or prayer or charity and pilgrimage to Mecca. So why Ramadan is important. The purpose of fasting during Ramadan is to develop self-discipline, in among the Muslims, self-control, and a sense of solidarity with those who are less fortunate. So it is also a time for spiritual reflection, increased prayer and recitation of Quran, and the acts of charity and generosity. So Ramadan is a time for Muslims to strengthen their relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to renew their commitment to their faith. So this year, in April, we will celebrate the Eid after the Ramadan, and the basic rules of Ramadan fasting include abstaining from food, drink, smoking, all other negative haram activities from dawn until sunset. And Muslims are also expected to engage in acts of worship such as prayer and charity during this holy month. And uh, Ramadan fasting lasts. Ramadan fasting, has lots of benefits, both physical and spiritual and mental. It can help to purify the soul, uh, and it creates a good relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and promotes self-discipline in ourselves, and strengthen relationship with Allah. It may also have health benefits such as improving blood sugar control and reducing inflammation, and lots of health benefits also it gives. So however, it is important to consult a doctor before fasting, especially if you have an underlying health conditions. So so life and death and the succession of nights and they have a purpose, and that is to test us and to give an opportunity to express our thanks and gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the creator and sustainer. The month of Ramadan comes and goes. We must examine ourselves now and see when we have learned and achieved during this month. So the test of success of this month lies in the effects it has upon us as fellows. For example, discipline. For example, discipline. We learn in this month how to discipline ourselves for the sake of Allah. In our morning and evening, we follow a strict schedule of eating and drinking. We are constantly aware that even in our such activities as eating and drinking, we must remain under divine injunctions. We change our habits in our daily routines because we learn that we are not the servants and slaves to our habits, but always the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then after Ramadan, we have to keep this spirit of discipline in other modes of our life, and we have to continue these, this kind of spirituality in our life, and must continue with our submission to the commands of Allah, because Allah has given us lots of commands and we have to submit. We have with our submission. So renewal of devotion life. Ramadan renews our enthusiasm for worship and devotion to Allah. In this month, we are more careful of our daily prayers and have special prayers at night. So there is no religion without prayer, and Muslims learn in this month how to strengthen and deepen their religious life, their religious views, and they do all the things in the practical manner. And renewal of contact with the Quran, Quran Kareem, because Ramadan and the Quran are linked together from the beginning. It was in the month that this divine message was revealed to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and blessings to be upon him. And we are told that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was fasting when he received the first revelation. And fasting prepares the believers' hearts to learn the word of Allah. And it is the most suitable condition for our spiritual and mental communication with the Quran. And the Muslim Ummah, pays more attention to the Quran in this month. This renewed contact with the Quran must help us in the following message. So Quran is giving us a proper guidance how we have to live in this life, and which kind of life is important in reality. So renewal of identity with Ummah. Ramadan is not an individual experience only, but it is an experience in community as well. The whole Muslim Ummah fast together in one and the same month. We identify with one another in our obedience to Allah. This gives us a sense of togetherness and association. And Ramadan, teaches us that the Muslim Ummah is the community of devotion to Allah, and its members drive their strength from each other's in deeds and virtue. So the bonds that are based on based on pity and virtue are the strongest bonds, and it is these bonds that prove good for mankind. As a Muslim, we have to motivate one another in our lives, because this life is not permanent and every soul has its given time. So the strength of Muslim community lies in its commitment to the values of goodness, morality, and pity. So Ramadan leaves an imprint of all these values upon the Muslim Ummah, and a fresh sense of care and sympathy. Fasting in the month of Ramadan helps us to understand the suffering and the pains of the poor and needy. We can consider in the difficult time how poor people suffers. So this is test Ramadan month, because every food is available, but still we are not taking the food. Just we are following the instructions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By our voluntary hunger and thirst, we realize what it means to be deprived of basic necessities of life. So Ramadan is called the month of charity and sympathy as well, because we learn how to be more kind and generous in this month. And many Muslims also pay their zakah in the month of Ramadan, 2.5% zakah. So, and the struggle, jihad or struggle, fasting in Ramadan and jihad, both of them were prescribed in the same year. And this is that is the second year of Hijrah in Medina. Fasting prepares for hardships and sacrifice. And these are two important things without which jihad is not possible. So Muslims learn in Ramadan how to struggle against the forces of evil in their own selves, in the society. And taqwa, important thing is taqwa. To all the moral and spiritual gifts of Ramadan, we can say that Ramadan gives us the great gift of taqwa. Taqwa is the sum of Islamic life. So it is the highest of all virtues in the Islamic scheme of things. It means God consciousness, God pity, fear, and awe of Allah, and its significant submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the total commitment to all that is good and rejection of all that is evil and bad. So it means you can say uh, we can show devotion to Allah. Fasting during Ramadan is an act of worship that shows one's devotion to Allah. It is a way of expressing gratitude for the blessings that Allah has bestowed upon them, and to self discipline, as I told, that because fasting during Ramadan requires to exercise self discipline and self control. So it teaches them to resist their physical desires and focus on their spiritual well-being, and to empathize with the less fortunate. Fasting during Ramadan is a way to empathize with those who are less fortunate by experiencing hunger and thirst, and you can understand the struggle of those who do not have enough food, enough to eat or drink. So to purify the soul, because fasting during Ramadan is believed to help purify the soul and increase spiritual awareness. So it is a high time to uh, to teach these values and etiquettes to our new generation in education system, because at the school level or at the college level we can aware and sensitize our new generation how Quran is important for us, and how Ramadan play vital role in our life, and it gives a and you can as a every Muslim is an ideal for their parents, their children. So it is a time to reflect on your actions and seek forgiveness for your sin. So lots of values and lots of things students can learn from the holy month of Ramadan, because it strengthens family and community ties. It improves the relationship among the families, relationship of uh, uh, kids with their parents, relationship of husband and wife, relationship of uh, uh, the individuals and neighbors, relationship of relatives. So Ramadan is a time when families and communities come together to break their fast and share meals, and it is a time to strengthen relationship and builds good bond with loved ones. And during Ramadan is a as I told, all adult who are physically and mentally capable are required to fast during Ramadan. So we can aware our students as well. There are exceptions for those who are sick or pregnant or breastfeeding or traveling, but the purpose of Ramadan is to purify our soul. So if our soul is pure, so we have to teach these values to our students in the society. In education system we can organize such events or webinars or seminars where we can you know teach these things to our new generation, and demonstrate solidarity with the poor and needy. So it is also seen as a way of improvement or to improve self-discipline and gain a deeper understanding of Islam. And uh, and studies have shown that Ramadan fasting can have number of health benefits, as we know. So we can teach these things also to our students, because lots of health benefits uh, by fasting, including improved insulin level or sensitivity or weight loss or reduced inflammation or digestion improvement. So lots of health benefits of Ramadan. So some tips for staying healthy during Ramadan fasting include staying hydrated during non-fasting hours, eating nutritious food and during the sahur and iftar, and avoiding overeating and consuming too many sugary or fried foods. So these habits can learn by our students. So it is also important to get enough rest and exercise during the month of Ramadan. And lots of benefits from the month of Ramadan we can uh, we can learn. So in teaching, in curriculum, the curriculum also teaches us lots of, we are talking about not only in academic and non-academic, because we have to think over overall development of the children, holistic approach. So Islam gives these approaches to our students, how Ramadan, you know how Ramadan is important for our self, for all the society, and how which kind of lesson it gives us, and we can include these things in curriculum, because fasting is an important basic act of worship in Islam, and like every act of worship in Islam, so there is a lot of wisdom in fasting. And uh, uh, and uh, self students will develop their self control, because self control means to suppose oneself, to control oneself. In other months we do bad things or use bad words, but this is conditioning area. During the month of Ramadan, we will change our life, and after the month of Ramadan we will continue these things for the sake of purity of Ramadan. Many times we refrain from these misdeeds by thinking about the sanctity of Ramadan. So it also develop patience in us. Iftar means iftar items are ready on the table, but we are not taking anything until the azan or the exact time to break the fast. So this is patience. So patience we can learn from Ramadan. Someone hurts you, but you did not reply back as you are fasting. So this teaches us passion. So moderate and helping the poor. Ramadan actually gives us a special opportunity to help the poor through zakat and donation. So during Ramadan, almost every eligible person pays zakah to the rightful owners according to their ability. Through this zakah, we create special sympathy for the poor, orphans, and helpless people of society. So we can teach our students how zakah is important, and how we can observe the neighbors or the relatives or the poor people in society, and we can provide food to the others, and and uh, and equality and harmony it provides, because in Islam, every all the Muslims brother and sisters are brother. All the Muslims are brother and sisters, either they are Arabic or non-Arab, they are black or white. So all Muslim at the same time in the month of Ramadan they can learn, abide by the same rules, refraining from eating and drinking, and the image of great unity emerged during the Ramadan. And fasting teaches people to refrain from quarrels and fights, and in this way it encourage the establishment of harmony and peace and love among one another. So lots of things, lots of values we can teach to our students, how Ramadan is important, and which kind of things it giving to us, because health benefits, the moral benefits, the Islamic benefits, or the academic benefits, non-academic benefits, lots of benefits of Ramadan, Ramadan month to all of us. So uh, So it means in curriculum or in teaching learning process, we can teach our students what is Ramadan firstly. And Ramadan is I told, that is the 9th month of calendar. And Muslim observe the sacred month of Ramadan to mark when Allah sent an angel, Jibril salam, Gabriel, to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, to reveal the Quran, the Islamic holy book. And the revelation is known as the night of power, or Laylatul Qadr in Arabic. So lots of learning will taken place if we will instruct our next generation in the proper manner, and we organize and sensitize and aware them about the importance of Ramadan and how is beneficial for our uh, not only essential in this life, but also essential for akhirah, because akhirah, this life is not permanent, because we all have to die and every soul is given time. And during Ramadan, Muslim aims to grow spiritually and become closer to Allah. And Ramadan gives us the opportunity to us uh, become closer to Allah and their loved ones, and they do this by fasting and abstaining from pleasures like many haram activities. So Ramadan is also a time for unity and spiritual reflection, and Muslims spend time praying, reciting Quran, and and they donate to charity, spend time and with loved ones, and avoid lying, gossiping, and fighting. So it means you learn lots of things. And Allah has given the clear guideline to all of us, why Ramadan is important. And it is millions of individuals worldwide fast from sunrise to sunset during this month. So however, apart from this, apart from the spiritual significance, most of them are unaware of the benefits of fasting. Like I told, uh, for example, Muslim health professionals suggest that the ritual has numerous physiological, spiritual, psychological, and scientific benefits. Additionally, it provides the opportunity to empathize with poor and needy people worldwide. And you know, fasting in Ramadan hadith, Abu Huraira narrated that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, worship Allah and worship none along with him, offer the five prescribed compulsory prayers perfectly, pay the compulsory zakah, and fast the month of Ramadan. So, it means uh, it fetches greater rewards. Ramadan fetches greater rewards. All able Muslims are required to fast during the Ramadan, and it is said that Allah repays the fasting, and Muslims with the great reward and blessings. Each hour of fasting brings people closer to meeting and Allah in the next life. But one should not fast for the gifts, or instead one should focus on its significant values. So, and leads to paradise and prevent hellfire. Only those who fast during Ramadan will be allowed to enter paradise through the Rayyan gate on the day of resurrection. The virtue motivates people to increase their voluntary fast while preparing for Ramadan. According to Muslim scholars, even a single day of fasting takes an individual away from hellfire towards Jannah. And and it also lower the cholesterol and improving blood sugar level, as Ramadan.
I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry
yeah.
for this, for informing you that you have 5 minutes more. I'm so sorry to inform you.
Okay. So it means it is enhancing, Ramadan is enhancing, from many health issues. For example, protection from obesity and chronic diseases. Fasting throughout Ramadan may assist in preventing obesity and other chronic diseases such as diabetes. And Ramadan fasting requires abstaining from the consumption of food and water between sunrise and sunset. And it lowers the cholesterol and improving blood sugar level. At Ramadan, fasting stimulates the lipid profile and improve digestive system. Observing Ramadan and fasting positively impacts one
I'm so
lifestyle and
sorry,
digestive
sir.
system.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for informing you that you have 5 minutes more. And then after
Okay.
this, there is a question and answer section. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, it's okay. So it also reduces the stress, because lots of psychological balance of Ramadan. Fasting throughout the holy month of Ramadan is one of the Islam's most essential commandments, and Muslim fast from 12 to 14 or 15 hours each day during Ramadan. So, and it prevents from cancer, assists in Alzheimer, and lots of psychological benefits. It enhance our willpower, it increase alertness, it uplift the mood. So it means uh, overall we can say it increase in taqwa, fetching greater reward, doorway to paradise, and prevention from hell are the spiritual benefits of Ramadan. And it enhance willpower, increase alertness, and better mood are the psychological benefits of Ramadan. And protection from obesity, cholesterol are the health benefits from Ramadan. So thank you all of you, and happy Ramadan Kareem to again to all of you, and best wishes from my side from India.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for your nice and great explanation about Ramadan, everything about Ramadan. And then here, some of our participants will ask you a question related with the material that you have already presented. Okay, sorry, sir. Yeah, so our participants will ask you a question related with the material that you have already presented to us. And then here, guys, please ask him a question. Okay, Miss Jannah. How is yours, Miss Jannah, to ask him a question?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kedengeran? I have a question, sir. Is that in India the Quran is recited on the mosque speakers? Because in our country, in Indonesia, we usually recite Quran together in the mosque using speakers. Then people around the mosque can listening the Quran together. How about in India? Do you get my question?
Yeah. I got it. In India, we organize Tarawih prayers in mosque, and we all, together we, recite Quran in the masjid, and in the form of salah. And during the holy month of Ramadan, every year we, recite Quran in groups as well. So in India as well, separately as well in the homes, but also in groups in the mosques. So it is common here in India. So we are reciting Quran, and nowadays lots of Muslim scholars are here in India, good scholars around the globe. So they are awareing the society, and nowadays the social media is the easy platform. Lots of Muslim scholars are there in online mode, so people are learning their religion by their heart. Lots of things in the past, because in India is a developing country, and lots of challenges here, lots of it's a huge population here, second largest population of the world. So in the past, lots of challenges because the access was not there. But nowadays it's very easy to us, because ICT and technology has given us the opportunity to learn Quran, to understand the Quran. And I am very thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah has given us the opportunity here in India as well, to recite the Quran at our homes, in the mosque. And in separate groups or in the group we are reciting Quran? Thank you. Your mic is off. I think your mic, you are muted. Unmute yourself.
Okay, thanks a lot for the answer, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. and also Miss Jannah. And then for the other one, is there any kind of question, guys, for Mr. Muhammad Zubair?
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I would like to ask you, sir, what's the difference about Ramadan's culture in India, especially with another country?
Every culture, every culture is different. As we all know, diversity in the society, we all are diverse in nature. And as we all know, we are reverted Muslims in India. In the past, we were not the Muslims. Lots of Hindus converted in Islam. So lots of culture and customs are still there. But Muslims try to follow the basics of Islam. Firstly, the 5 pillars of Islam, and we are trying our best. And lots of madrasas and lots of scholars are there, and Quran has given us the pure instructions how we have to follow the Islam in our lives. And Islam has set the role of each and individual, each person. For example, the role of parents, the role of mother, and what is the role of individual for neighbors, what is the role of what is role as a father, as a mother, as a teacher. So so it's right, lots of different cultures, but in general we can say we are following the same basics which are given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are trying our best. Yeah, lots of things are here, for example, but the important thing is that uh, Islam means submission to one God. So the basic is that. So we are not following that culture, which for example, in Hindu culture, there are lots of gods. So they are, they are doing other rituals in their festivals, in their homes. But we are, we are not performing all those things, because Allah is one, and we have to submit Allah, our desires and everything. So yeah, little bit different culture, but the in overall we can say that all the things are same, like sahur or the iftar time or the 5 time prayers or the Quran recitation. Lots of madrasas are here, lots of Islamic schools where students are learning Arabic language, and they can speak Arabic, they can learn Arabic in proper manner. So lots of scholars are here, lots of good mosques are here, and 700 years Islamic ruling was there here in India. Mughal emperor were there, like lots of historical places, Islamic historical places are available. So people came from Afghanistan or Iraq or Arab to India in the past, and they have made lots of historical places like Taj Mahal, Jama Masjid, Red Fort, lots of historical places. So the culture is rich, yeah, but little bit different, yeah. In their different in the food items, what, because food is geographical, availability of food is different. Maybe, for example, which kind of food we our farmers, which kind of food they produce, and maybe in your country it may be different. So food items are different, the dressing may be little bit different, but the basics of Islam are same. The following we are the same basics.
Okay, thank you for your answer about this.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Muhammad Zubair, and also Ms. Konita for some kind of question and also answers. Thank you, sir. And now let's come to our presenter. She is Miss Jannah from EAN Madura that will present about something related with culture of Ramadan in her city. Time is yours, Miss Jannah. Yeah, sorry. For your title, time is yours, Miss Jannah, to present it.
Udah. Nanti. Okay, thank you, Miss Fitri. Before I begin my presentation, I want to inform to all of you that Dr. Lee, sexual psychologist, said that pornography and excessive masturbation can lead to addiction, relationship breakdown, anxiety, and depression. So, RAODATUL JANNAH from EKT class, I will explain you about impact and dangers of PMO and how to stop this habit from religious and psychology perspective. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Actually, I'm really happy. Why? Because I can meet you all, and also there is a lot of people outside there just spend their time for something unuseful, but we are here spend our time for learn and discuss each other. And in this occasion, I will explain you about topic that currently viral, namely PMO. Let me share my screen. Kelihatan ya, Miss? Udah kelihatan? Okay, my topic is PMO, exactly with the title, Effort to Raise Students' Awareness about the Dangers of PMO and how to stop this habit from a religious and psychological perspective. Why I take this topic? I take this topic because according to data from the Ministry of Human Empowerment and Child Protection, or here we usually call it as Kemenpa, revealed that there are around 62% girl and 66% boy watching pornography. And there are around 38% till 39% children sending photos of sexual activity. And there are around 5% boy and 25% girl have been involved in or practice pornography directly. Then it means in this year, 20 and 23, we are in PMO dangers. Now, what is PMO? PMO is millennials' younger slang, exactly this era. Actually, PMO have a lot of meaning, but in this case, PMO stands for pornography, masturbation, and orgasm. It means PMO is a self-satisfying activity that helped by adult content that can cause an orgasm. And now why we should stay away from PMO. There is a lot of reason why we should stay away from PMO. And the first reason is watching pornography is one of the way to approach adultery. In the Quran, have been explained exactly in Surah Al-Isra, verse 32, which read, A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wala taqrabuz zina innahu kana fahisha وَسَاءَ سَبِيلًا. وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا, and don't approach adultery, إِنَّهُ كَانَ فَاحِشَةً وَسَاءَ سَبِيلًا. Verily, adultery is a heinous act. And the second reason why you should stay away from TMO is original law of masturbation in Islam is haram. According to Shafi'iyah and Malikiyah madhab, this is contained in the book Al-Bayan that Harf wrote by Muhammad Al-Ami Ash-Shankiti. This opinion according to Surah Al-Mu'minun verse 5 till 7, which reads, A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Walladzina hum li furujihim hafizun illa ala azwajihim aw ma malakat aymanuhum fa innahum ghairu malumin faman ibtagha wara'a dzalika fa ulaika humul aadun. Walladzina hum li furujihim hafizun. They, lucky people, lucky Muslim, they who guard their private parts. The lucky Muslim, they who guard their genitals. Illa ala azwajihim, except from their wives, aw ma malakat aymanuhum, or their slave, fa innahum ghairu malumin. For indeed they will not be blamed. Then, if someone use their private parts for their wife and their slave, it means he is in the right way, not in the wrong way. And famani ibtagha wara'a dzalika fa ulaika humul aadun. But whoever seeks beyond that, fa ulaika humul aadun, then those are transgressors. In a tafsir Jalalain, Tafsir Jalalain interpret this ayah famani ibtagha wara'a dzalika with al-istimna or masturbation. It means masturbation in Islam is haram. And now why we should stay away from PMO. The third reason is masturbation or al-istimna is one of sin that erases all of good deeds, as explained in the hadith in Sunan Ibn Majah number 42 and 45. Which reads, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Haddathana Isa bin Yunus ar-Ramli, Haddathana Uqbah bin Alqamah ibn Hudayjin al-Ma'afiri, an Artatah ibn al-Mundhir, an Abi Amir al-Alhani, an Thawban, an Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was narrated from Thawban, from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, annahu qala, that Rasulullah say, La a'lamanna aqwaman min ummati ya'tuna yawmal qiyamah bihasanati amthali jibali tihama bidan. Rasulullah said, I certainly know people of my nation who will come on the day of resurrection with good deeds like a mountain of Tihama. فَيَجْعَلُهَا اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ هَبَاءً مَنْثُورًا. But Allah will make all of the good deeds like a scattered dust. Allah will make it disappear in vain. Thawban said, Ya Rasulullah, sifhum lana, jallihim lana, alla nakuna minhum wa nahnu la na'lam. O Messenger of Allah, describe them to us and tell us more, so that we will not become of them unknowingly. Then Rasulullah answers, Qala ama innahum ikhwanukum wa min jildatikum wa ya'khuduna minal layli kama ta'khuduna walakinnahum aqwamun idza khalau bimaharimillahi intahakuha. He said, they are your brothers and from your race, worshipping at night, it means tahajjud, as you do. But they will be people who, when they are alone, transgress the sacred limits of Allah. Then this hadith explained that if a Muslim people, when they are alone, then they do something haram, then it will make their good deeds disappear in vain. And now the next reason why we should stay away from PMO. PMO addiction has a negative impact both physically, mentally, and emotionally. Impact of PMO addiction. The first impact of PMO to our physical is more pungent body odor. Then if someone get addicted with PMO, he will have a strong bad smell in his body. And the second is change in the brain because of pornography video. Do you know that in our brain, there is a lot of part, and in our forebrain, there is a one part that produces dopamine. If someone addicted with pornography video or PMO, then the forebrain will produce dopamine non-stop. And that's so bad to our health. Why? Because our brain will demand us to do it more and more. And the third, pain and sores in the genital. Sorry. This has happened because too much masturbation. And the fourth is weak and easily tired. And the five is premature ejaculation. And the six is difficulty having an orgasm during intercourse in the real life. And the second impact to our mental health is one is lost confidence. And the second is antisocial. What is antisocial? Antisocial means he will be difficult to gather with people and more enjoy to be alone. And this person with PMO addict, and this person with antisocial tends to have no empathy. That's why sometimes they violate the rights of others. That's why if PMO addicts in Indonesia increase, it can increase also criminal issues such as abuse, rape, even murder. And the third is easily stressed and depressed. And the fourth, easily agitated and worried. And the five is being forgetful and sick overthinking. Okay, the next impact of PMO to our emotion. The first is deep feelings of guilt. And the second is sinful feelings. It's almost same between the first and the second. Someone who gets addicted with PMO, it tends to feel guilty because he always feels that this activity is so bad, but he can't stop this habit. And the third is chaotic and unruly emotion. PMO addicts will find it difficult to control their own emotion. And the fourth is addicted, and the five is continuing habits. Okay, the next PMO addict impact is wasting time. And the second is not productive. And the third is have no purpose in life. And the fourth is the loss of motivation. How to stop PMO habits? There is a lot of steps we have to pass to stop this habit. The first is strong determination. The strong determination is very important before proceeding to the next step. And desire to quit this bad habit will come after someone realizes that PMO is so bad. In this case, asking help to Allah is also important, even though our efforts have not been successful. Just keep asking help to Allah while pass step by step. And second, to stop TMO habits is avoiding triggers. The big trigger is a pornography. Except that, avoid anything makes us compelled to look at porn, such as sexual content, movie, song with vulgar lyrics, also any items usually used for masturbation. In this case, avoid solitude is also help someone to avoid things that bring up the desire to do PMO. And the third, we can do exercise routine. PMO addict realized that his activity can relax him, even though he can get it also by exercising. To be more fun and excited, he can choose his favorite sport, such as running, swimming, and others. Especially if he exercises with friends, it will definitely be more fun. And the next step is do a simple meditation. Do a simple meditation, either sit or stand in a comfortable position. Focus our attention on our breath. When the mind wanders, take a deep breath again. Do this at least 10 minutes every day. And the next step, PMO addicts, they want to stop this habit, but they found it so difficult. That's why they can do it gradually. For example, if previously someone usually do it 2 till 3 times a day, he can change it to be 2 till 3 times a week, then 1 times a week, then 1 times a month. He should keep reducing until he can stop this habit. Okay. And the sixth step is understand our own self. Some ways to understand yourself are being honest with yourself, being aware of your strengths and weaknesses, setting your priorities. Like, what do you think is most important in your life? Also, try to forgive yourself when you do a mistake and invite yourself to make improvements. And as PMO addict, it is appropriate to understand that you are experiencing health problems and need doctor help. And the seventh step is consult a doctor. PMO addicts tend to have difficulty controlling themselves. Therefore, they need to help of an expert doctor, such as psychologist or psychiatrist. And the eighth is listening to religious lecture. There is a lot of religious lecture on YouTube or other social media that relate to this problem. This activity can help us to increase our iman and as a reminder for us. And the ninth step is listening to the Quran. The Quran is a healing medicine for the heart and soul. In Surah Al-A'raf, verse 2004, which reads, وَإِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنُ فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنصِتُوا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. When the Quran is recited, listen to it attentively and be silent so you may be shown mercy. Ibn Taymiyyah explained about this ayah. Bentar, Miss. Nanti share screen lagi nih. Okay, let me continue. The next step is marriage. Getting married is the most powerful way to stop PMO. Besides, marriage is much better physically, morally, and religiously because every activity of sexual relation is considered as worship. How about in Ramadan? How about doing PMO in Ramadan? Basically, fasting is a worship to hold back hunger in Ramadan, thirst, and also lust. One of the fast of lust is maintaining our passion or shahwah. The character of a believer, the character of Muslim in this context is someone who is able to guard his genitals, except for his wife, as explained in Surah Al-Mu'minun, verse 5 till 7. And can PMO cancel the fasting? Here, I take two opinions about this matter. The first opinion is from Ibn Baz. He said, someone who masturbates during Ramadan, he must repent to Allah and make up his fast. Because on that day, he broke the fast by masturbating. That is, the status is the same as those who don't fast, even though they don't eat or drink. And Mustafa Khan said about this, masturbation is trying to expel semen directly or by hand. If it is done intentionally by someone who is fasting, then it breaks the fast. It can be concluded that if someone doing PMO while he is fasting, then it can break his fast. Okay, thank you. That's for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you, Miss Jannah. And then for the other one, for the other participants, do you have some kind of question for her? Hello, maybe Mr. Adi Supriyadi or Miss Sarifa Aini, Yulia Astuti, you have some kind of question for Miss Jannah?
Nothing is nothing.
Okay, thank you so much for for all participants for what we say like standing in this kind of time. And then now let's come to the next presenter. She is Miss Rada. It is about bad and good habit in Ramadan. Time is yours, Miss Rada.
Okay, dan terdengar. Okay, thank you for Miss Fitri for giving me the opportunity to present today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. I'm Rada, student of IAIN Madura at the Faculty of Economics and Islamic Business. In this good time, I will deliver you interesting topic.
Okay, sorry everyone, because there is some kind of problem in our connection. So now let's wait for Miss Rada first. Miss Rada, are you there? Okay, Miss Rada, time is yours to continue your presentation.
Yes, thank you. At present, we as Muslims are at the point we will look forward to every year, the holy month of Ramadan in Indonesia on April 4, 13, 13 days away from the Ramadan fast, which we are trying to withstand not only hunger and thirst, but lust. There are a lot of people who mix up the holy moon like many TV programs specially packed for the month of Ramadan. Not to be forgotten, the product offers it all led to a month-long fasting period, but in a new way and popular culture. Popular pop culture has proved to be more than just fashion, lifestyle, or entertainment. Now, in Ramadan, where Muslims are commanded to fast a full month, popular culture is deeply impressed. Other phenomena experienced by Muslims in the season of Ramadan as in the weeks leading up to fasting, there are many words or quotes put down on our Facebook, Twitter, or WhatsApp. The content of a common message is the words of a bond and inner apology for going to a full month's fast worship. Happy observe the fasting worship of Ramadan, often also accompanied by a string of sweet, soothing British words. However, there are also things that upset us during this month at Ramadan that involve both safety and health. Here, the positive and negative things we can take and learn from Ramadan.
Sorry everyone, Miss Rada have bad connection again. So now let's wait for her first. Okay, wait a minute. Hi, Miss Rada, are you there? Okay, guys, so now that's your turn to prepare some kind of question for her later while waiting for her to have some good connection again. So now let's start to wait for her first. Okay, Miss Rada, you're coming, so time is yours, Miss Rada.
Yes. Okay. The first is the positive cultures of the month of Ramadan. There were many cultures that we have long done, such as reciting Holy Quran, short boarding school program, or pesantren kilat, break the fast together, kertak guild, and also working sahur in a fairly unique way in which each region had its way. It is daily activity in the month of Ramadan is positive culture that is heavily projected to carry out, usually in the duhur time and after Tarawih. People who want to meet in the masjid, there are group for reciting Holy Quran and usually target the fasting month. Next, short boarding school program or pesantren kilat become one of the most appreciated cultures of the people, especially in my village. But sorry, this is because the children of the student that join this program are well to be good in their attitude and at their knowledge. And this lightning boarding school is not only in my village, but there are many edge area. However, for how many students that join this program during the month of Ramadan, there is no specific data regarding the number. In my area, there is one of program, which is the program focused on reciting holy book or kitab. And one example of the holy book is the Lubabul Hadis, which was composed by Jalaluddin bin Kamaluddin Asayuti for the full capacity. For the full capacity of this program is approximately 30 people, but as it approaches the end of Ramadan, there is a steady increase because it is common for the student being crowded in boarding schools and returning home for the first months to attend past customers. Next, Ngabuburit is one in the new cultures where people travel in specific place, spend time so that fast breaking time is like fast. There are so many people who have been hunting takjil, and also many of them are giving takjil for others. Then in some places, the market also has vast numbers of people who sell fast foods ranging from heavy foods to reasonable price snacks. Ramadan is like a blessing to all people, especially Muslims, because they not only receive but also give and seek sustenance. After such a positive culture, it was now time to cure the negative culture. For example, it was like playing with firecrackers. And for example, it was like playing with firecrackers the night of Ramadan, and the majority who played were children. For example, in 2015, in Bangkalan, there was an 8-year-old boy who was crushed by playing with firecrackers. With that episode, the only thing that he and his parents had planned for his future stunt, and perhaps every year there are many cases of people affected by these firecrackers, especially children. Besides that, there is another thing that is held by young people. It is motorcycle racing. The custom of young people who drive motorcycles on the road after the end of the Tarawih prayer and at Ngabuburit time is particularly harmful to other motorists. Other road users will be disturbed because their activities even their safety pose threat to both the perpetrator and other road users. It was actually this negative habit that we should stop and not have to become a culture during the month of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan is the secret month that we should make it the best as of for worship and the greater share, the greater good, the essential culture that has been positive effects on us well as on others.
and introduce the new cultures of Ramadan of people to make it as a special habit that always excited during the month of Ramadan, and even to bring about its good effect upon the month of Ramadan. Thank you for your attention. May this Ramadan bring blessing to all of us.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Rada, for your nice and great presentation. And then for the other ones, I give you time for ask her a question. So time is yours for the other participants. Hi everyone. Anyone of you want to ask her a question?
May I ask a question?
Yes, Mr. Muhammad Zubair, time is yours, Mr.
Ma'am, I would like to ask a simple question that I want to know that which kind of culture and customs in your country during the month of Ramadan, and which kind of activities you do on the regular basis during the month of Ramadan in your specifically in your country, and which kind of dates and which kind of food and which kind of activities you perform in your country during the month of Ramadan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zubair. Miss Rada, are you there? Sorry, Mr. Because Miss Rada right now has bad connection. So we will wait for her first. Okay, good. Thank you, Mr. Sorry. Okay, so Miss Rada here, Mr. Muhammad Zubair asks you, what is the culture in our country related with Ramadan, include the food or something like that? Is that correct, Mr.?
Food and actually I want to ask that which kind of food you take and which kind of activities and dates you perform and which kind of the culture you follow during the month of Ramadan, and which kind of activities you organize at your homes, in the society, in the in the schools, in the colleges. So which kind of overall culture, because you live in the Muslim country, because I live in a in India. It's not a Muslim country, it's a democratic country, but you live because you live in the Muslim country. So which kind of culture you follow during the month of Ramadan at your educational places, at your offices, timings, customs, everything I want to ask in brief.
Okay, thank you, sir. So here, Miss Rada, Mr. Zubair asks you, what is the culture related with the culture? It can be food that we take in our Ramadan, and then all the general activities that you do in our country around Ramadan. All the thing about your regular activities in our Ramadan. So what did you do in your college or something like in your house and our office, maybe if you're a worker, and anything else? So do you understand, my dear?
Okay, for a day in my life, for months Ramadan, our foods and takjil is general term for a snack that is eaten shortly after breaking the fast, usually in the form of sweet foods such as banana compote, fruit chop, mixed ice, and so on. And such as reciting Holy Quran and short boarding school program in my village. One program, Holy Book or Kitab. Example of the Holy Book is the Lubabul Hadis, which was composed by Jalaluddin bin Kamaluddin Asayuti. And my activity bring the fast together for family. And all presentasi the real my life. For the full capacity for pesantren kilat for Indonesia in Indonesia, sorry, itu 30 people, but as it approaches the end of Ramadan, there is a steady increase because it is common for the students being crowded in boarding school and returning home for the first month for attend first customers.
Okay, thank you, Miss Rada. So here, sir. Actually, I think we are not what we say like a bit different, no, but we are the same. I think if we focus on your presentation before, so like Miss Rada said that they are breakfasting together and also reciting Holy Quran, and we call it tadarusan here. And then we hunting what we say like snack around the street, and we call it takjil, like this one. And also there are many kind of things, such as we give something to our neighbor. We call it in Madura, especially in Madura, terater, like this one. So every single it is culture. There are many culture that we do, but for our college here, we do some kind of regular program like before Ramadan. The same here. So I think that's all, sir, for the answer of your question.
Yeah,
Is that
thank you,
answer
ma'am.
your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, sir. And then here, okay, guys. Okay, guys, I think that's all for our meeting for today. Thank you so much for your nice attention and also your great opinion and also respond to this kind of lecture talk series 15. And thank you so much for everything.
Hello, Miss Fitri.
Oh, yeah, Mr.
Okay, hang on a second. Hello, brother Mohid Zubair.
Brother, assalamu alaikum.
Yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
walaikum
Alhamdulillah, I'm
salam.
doing great. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. My apology for being so late in welcoming you because I have just guests. Okay, but I watched from YouTube that you do your great job, and my students here are so happy to be with you.
Thank you, brother.
Sharing about India, and my student here is sharing about activities here. And you know that this program, I'm a lecture talk here. We are talking about language, education, culture, technology, universality, religion, and environment. But we relate to Ramadan, and I think I think you have got the same thing, but we are indifferent because here we live in majority and you live in minority there.
Yeah.
But so far,
yeah, it's a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. That's totally different. So how do you feel? My students are presenting. The student here, the students of FLDP program. So they are presenting. They're practicing their English. So what do you think about them, brother?
To improve the English.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, firstly, we have to give them the exposure, the environment. Firstly, because when we give them because learning by doing is the important key, and I teach in the faculty of education. When we provide the opportunity to our students in practical manner, conditioning will work for them. We have to create the environment and we have to reinforce them and told them that there is no need to think in the mother tongue. Always try to think in the English or the so and the vocabulary you can improve by puzzles and games and dictionaries, because learning English is not a tough task. Firstly, the interest is important. If the child is ready to learn, If he is confident, we have to increase the self-esteem and confidence of our kids firstly, and we have to told them that the English is the global language nowadays, because it's a global language, and we can communicate from one to another around the globe by English. So first, provide environment, and they give them opportunity, organize some events in English, for example, street plays, or many quizzes, or many co-curricular activities you can organize in the language. So they will learn, because in group they will learn, in grouping they will learn a lot. So grouping always works, because the leadership quality will improve. They will observe to another students, they will observe them, their behavior, their way of pronunciation. And teacher is a facilitator, and guider is there, is a guider. And teacher have to observe which kind of mistakes they are doing. So we have to take good feedback during the teaching learning process, during the interaction. And the second thing is writing, because provide them the opportunity to write according to their interest. No, there is no need to give them there is no need to rigid with them. Be flexible, give them the opportunity to write according to their interest. For example, if a child have interest in the sports, so provide them the opportunity to speak and write about the sports. If a child have interest in, for example, in environment, so provide them the opportunity to write and speak about environment. And lots of videos you can show them, lots of videos. And videos also helps them, because lots of videos are available on YouTube, or lots of channels are there. They can subscribe good channels, and they can listen and watch. And the third is that we have to enrich our vocabulary time to time. Try to learn new vocabulary, for example, 10 to 20 words or 30 words per week, and they can use those words, not only memorize. We have to use those words in the practical during our speaking. When we use those words, that will be very, very beneficial for them. And most important thing is that the desired goal must be clear and fixed. The purpose and the desired goal. If you have a goal, then you can achieve that goal step by step, because lots of sub goals are there. Firstly, we have to, no one will be perfect in 1 or 2 days. It will take time. It's a slow process. And learning language it's not our mother tongue. We are acquiring this language because English is not our mother tongue. So we have to motivate our student, and we have to reinforce them time to time. We have to appreciate them. We have use positive affirmations among them. For example, if a child is not capable, he is doing some mistakes, so still you have to encourage them. You have to motivate them. So that and the hard work is also a key. If you have a goal, you have to do hard work. Definitely they will learn, inshallah.
Yes. We do agree with your points that making students confident and then take time. It's a hard work. So again, thank you very much, brother, for being with us almost 1 hour and a half, I guess. So inshallah, we can do again in another time. Again, thank you very much for being with us.
I appreciate such kind of events, because as a Muslim, it's our first duty to work for our religion. And as an educator, I am feeling very proud to giving my knowledge to other students around the globe, because as a Muslim, because akhira is important. This life is very temporary. Every soul has given time. So mashallah, you are doing such kind of activities, and during the Ramadan, very appreciable. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you very much, brother. Okay, Miss Fitri, now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wafi, and also Mr. Muhammad Zubair. So, see you guys, and thank you so much for your nice attention. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.